If I had to cut my business expenses in half, here's where I'd start. I would look into my unused software subscriptions, any manual processes that are repeated that can be automated, and overpriced marketing that just doesn't convert. These three things sound extremely simple, I'm sure, hearing it, but actually putting it into practice takes a little bit of time, a little bit of knowledge, and a little bit of perseverance, to be truthful. So let's start off with the unused software subscriptions. I'm sure we've all had a gym membership at one point that we just did not use. We all had a Netflix, a Hulu, a Paramount Plus, an Apple, whatever those subscriptions are. I'm sure we all had some form of subscription that we didn't use on an active basis, but didn't bother to cancel. So they were just using that recurring revenue, just collecting that on a month-to-month basis. So that is first what I would look at, because you would not believe the amount of expenses that we just kind of push under the rug, but those things start to add up over time. I worked with a company actually that I was consulting for, and they had over $100,000 worth of expenses that added up over the course of a year. So annual subscriptions that totaled $100,000, which is absolutely insane. But these were all not used by the company. So it's like, why not go through? Why not go ahead and cancel them? But it's just because they did not take the time to actually audit their subscriptions and audit their systems that they had in place, which is extremely, extremely crucial into building a business. I would not say that you need to audit your expenses or audit your subscriptions on a weekly basis. I would definitely do it on like a monthly basis, and definitely absolutely on a quarterly basis at absolute minimum. Let's talk a little bit more about manual processes that can be automated. So one of the softwares that I absolutely love is Zapier. Zapier is a non-coding software that integrates a lot of different systems. So if you don't understand what an integration is and how things can be automated, so the way things can be automated is by having one software simply talk to the other. So that is simply what an integration is you are making those two softwares talk together and talk to one another in a way that helps them to work together to achieve whatever the ultimate goal is that you are wanting them to achieve. So Zapier, if you are not a coder, is the perfect software to use. It can add up over time, but I have found that they have a whole lot of integrations. They're actively building up their website, and actually is a really, really great resource if you do not have a coder on your team. I'll definitely be making another video on automation specifically, especially with Zapier, so definitely stay tuned for that one. Let's move on to overpriced marketing that just does not convert. So this is one of the number one ways that people are wasting money, is because they put their ads on and just hope they run. And they don't test multiple ads. They just put on one or two ads that they think look nice and just let them run. That is not the active way to run ads. That is not the productive and efficient way to run ads. You need to be looking at data. So all of your decisions should be based off of data-based decision making. Ultimately, overall for your business, you want to be making data-based decisions. That way it's not based off of how you feel or people's opinions. It is all based off the facts and what is laid out in front of you and what the numbers are showing. You want to follow the numbers ultimately and truly. That way you make sure that your business is as successful as possible. Depending on the type of marketing that you are running, definitely will affect your pricing quite a bit. Based on the type of marketing that you're running, you're going to want to make sure that you are targeting the right people, that you are watching the correct numbers, because all different types of marketing are different. If you're doing text messaging, if you're doing email marketing, if you're doing paid ads versus Meta versus Google, like all of those things actually play a huge role in the metrics that you're going to be tracking. Ultimately, yes, you want to be tracking the same numbers. How many purchases do you have? What's your cost per lead? What's your cost per overall acquisition for your funnel? Like all of these things, you want to be tracking those, but ultimately you want to make sure that you are having ads that are converting and that are within your target range of whatever it is that you want to be converting at. So your overall conversion rate definitely depends on the industry that you're in, because everything changes based on industry specific things. But definitely do some research, look into the different types of industries that you are going to be marketing to, and make sure that you fall within your niche and see what those conversion rates are. Ultimately, whenever you look at those conversion rates, you want to make sure that you are performing either at or better than what that average conversion rate is. If you're converting below the average, that's when I would really assess your ads. I would always make sure that any paid ads that you're doing, depending on your marketing, obviously there's other types of marketing, but if you're doing paid ads, I cannot stress enough the importance of testing, the importance of having multiple ad creatives, multiple pieces of ad copy to be able to just plug in at any given time, because you want to be able to make these pivots very quickly. Paid ads will run your money out very quickly if they are not managed to a T and managed efficiently and effectively. So make sure that you have the right person managing your ads. If you are running paid ads, make sure you have someone who is knowledgeable. Make sure you have someone that can create those ad creatives for you, and that you have a folder of things that you can just pull from on a regular basis, because that will change the game. One of the companies that I'm working with now, actually, they do that. They literally have a folder of ads that I can just choose from as I'm going through it, and it makes it so much easier. So that way I can just implement, okay, here's this ad, or here's this ad copy, put those things together, boom, the ad's out. We literally have it based on per month, with copy, with creatives, with videos, all of those things. And so it really helps to break it down to a micro level, but also easier for us to manage and see which ads are actually converting on a month-to-month basis. So now that we've cut our systems that are just sucking out all of our revenue, now I want to reinvest the money on systems that drive revenue and efficiency for the company. So those things might look like training for the team members. That might look like creating standard operating procedures, so using manpower to create those standard operating procedures. That might include doing leadership training, or even hiring a consultant to be able to take over your ads, like your paid ads, or like a media buyer of some sort. So these types of things are essentially buying you back your time. Yes, upfront, it is definitely going to cost you your time, but that is just where you have to understand that the cost of what you're doing, the ROI is 100% there. It's tenfold of what you're actually putting into it. Your ROI is going to just supersede that to a whole nother level. So you're looking at the long-term gain, not the short-term gain. So I hope this is helpful for you all. If you all are a small business and you are struggling with your efficiency for your systems, working to try to automate things, need leadership training or some company culture help, definitely reach out to me. I actually offer operations consulting. Definitely reach out to me. I'll include my email address down below. And then also we have a community for entrepreneurs. It's called 52 Weeks Strong. Y'all, this is not just a community. This is going to be a movement. It already is starting to be a movement. We literally just launched it. We're including 52 weeks of modules. We're including a community. We're including live coaching calls. All of these things you all have access to. And so I'll make sure to include that link in the chat, and I'll see you all next time.